Hello everybody, welcome back to StraightA. My name is Dawson here with a little extra video for the week as I'm kind of still preparing the schedule overall for this channel, or for the NFL content specifically. I got a couple series, all the main series planned out and kind of what they're going to kind of look like throughout the season, but I have one little open slot that I'm still trying to figure out what to do with, what should just be a random video or what it should be. So this will be the filler in for now until I figure out what I really want to do, as the NFL season's still kicking off and still really finishing up and getting kicked off for the week one. I'm recording this at the end of Sunday, all the great games. Got to catch several of them. Busy day for me as well, so I didn't catch all of them. So I'm going to rewatch some of the highlights, look at some of the stats, and kind of get caught up. That way I'm ready for tomorrow and Wednesday and all the other great things. So I'm really excited and to really get to this, but I have a little video I want to do here about my opinions of the current state of the QBs. As everybody knows, the QBs are going to be the most important position for NFL team success. As much as we love, the wide receivers, as much as we love the running backs or the, cornerbacks, the linemen, the defensive linemen, the fullbacks, even the kickers, the special teamsmen, as much as we love all of them, the quarterbacks are going to be a really big part in making a team succeed. And I have some opinions about a lot of the quarterbacks that currently are in the NFL. Found this nice little tier list that has several backups too that have some opinions about or some hopes about that I want to kind of share my opinion on, just for the whole NFL season. Doesn't have to be necessarily for this season, but just in general as well. So at least for the future, I shouldn't say. I'm not looking back at their past necessarily and kind of bringing that forward, kind of saying what's the potential now, how they're going to do this season as well as future seasons, and kind of going from there. So I got this list, I'm going to go through it, and we'll go for it. So the tiers I have are top, the best of the best. These are the people that are franchise players. These are the people that are main event type players that are always going to be on the teams unless they're near the end of their career and they want to switch teams of their own accord. They are the quarterbacks that are going to be there, reliable, and have made themselves a name to some extent. The great and aspiring is going to be kind of a tier below the best of the best, as in they really have that grit, they really have that potential, really go up and be the best of the best, but they still have something to prove. There's still something about them that is just a little bit off. Reliably good are the quarterbacks that are going to be suitable. They're going to be fine for their team to even make playoffs, possibly even make a good Super Bowl run. And you'll see a lot of the kind of similar themes of the reliably good, just people you're not going to necessarily get rid of, but you aren't necessarily going to necessarily be the top of the line team, at least for now. You get what you see is the middling quarterbacks, the bridge quarterbacks, the people who are just there to help build some time and build a team and kind of just show what the team is capable of with an average quarterback, essentially. Hasn't had time to prove themselves, quarterbacks that are young, specifically young, yes, and that have shown sparks but haven't really proven enough time to really get into a category of something, of one of the other ones. Now, there are going to be QBs that are kind of younger that are going to be in the upper tiers, just because they've already proven themselves at such a young age. But there are quarterbacks that still haven't, that maybe have a year or two or even several years depending on how old they are. I kind of am shooting for the QBs are 24 and under, 25 kind of acceptable, but 26 and up, and you're kind of getting the range of you're pretty solidified of what we see, what we get. Has something to prove and fast. These are the QBs that are really at risk. They could be of any age. They have either had previous success and have middled off very recently and have to prove something really quickly, otherwise it's going to be a death of their career. And in the land of forever backups are just people who are kind of, not to say irrelevant, they're making more money than I'm ever going to make, so good for them, but they are just going to be people who are going to get flashes. They're going to get the day in the sun when they get to start a game and do well, and all of a sudden everybody's going to clamor and say they should start. But for the fact is, they're not the starting QB. They're not getting paid the big bucks. They're probably never going to get paid the big bucks, and we'll go from there. So first up, we have a very good one, Jared Goff. I love Jared Goff. I'm a very big Jared Goff supporter. I'll kind of keep most of these kind of brief. Jared Goff, I feel like, has been getting a little bit more love recently, so I'm very happy to see that. But I'm going to put him in reliably good. He has proven that he can go out there, sling the ball. He's just a reliable quarterback. He's not going to do anything flashy or spectacular, but he's going to go out there and help win you some games. With a good team, he can get you to the playoffs and maybe in a hopeful Super Bowl run. So we'll see for our Lions fans this season. We have Justin Fields next, and I'm going to put him, hasn't had time to prove themselves. So Justin Fields has a lot of good flashes. I am not a Justin Fields believer. I think he's had time. He hasn't had the weapons before, so maybe this season will kind of be proving this. But I think this is last season. Last season, and hasn't had time to prove themselves until everybody kind of looks at him one way or the other. He's had some time to do all this. He's had time to show flashes, but is he really the QB of the future? I haven't seen too much greatness from him, and I don't see him as a big team leader. So this is kind of a season to kind of prove something and fast, but he's a little bit young. He's young and still has the potential to do something because you see those flashes. So even currently, so that's why he's not in the has something to prove and fast. He's just hasn't had time to prove himself, because I think even after his stint with the Bears, if this was last year or this is last chance with the Bears as starter, I should say, because I believe he has another year, he'll have a shot somewhere else. Somebody else will pick him up. So that's why I have confidence there with him. Andy Dalton, he's finally, once upon a time he might get a you get what you see type quarterback, or even has something to prove and fast, but he's now in that phase where he's just a land of forever backups. Actually, I don't even know if he's still in the league, to be honest with you. I didn't even look. I thought I saw something where he's retired, but maybe I'm wrong. But evidently it has him in the Bears uniform. So who knows? But if he is still in the NFL, he is in the land of forever backups. He will no longer be a starting QB ever again. Matt Ryan, listen, last year was his chance to prove something and fast. Didn't happen. Looked awful. Love Matt Ryan. He's had a great career, and I hate that it ended that way for him. But I believe he's a free agent, if not officially retired. I didn't see anything officially retiring him. So for now, he's going to be in the land of forever backups, and we'll go from there. Jameis Winston, man, I feel like it's finally gotten to the point where last year was his kind of year to do something really good and really great. I want to put him. You get what you see. I do, because I do believe he's good. He's fine. He's like Jared Goff tier down, and that's perfect for where he is. I'm not going to say he's in the land of forever backups, because he's recent enough and relevant enough and good enough to not be in that little range. But obviously, he's not in a place where he can prove something and fast. So you get what you see, and the reason why I have you get what you see kind of in the average tier is just because I'd rather sometimes have some of these QBs that are just good. I'd rather have someone than someone who be in the has something to prove and fast. And this next person's kind of right in that little area for me, and that's Sam Darnold. He has something to prove and fast, or I almost want to put him. He hasn't had time to prove himself, but he's had time. I don't believe he's a forever backup yet, but I don't think he's ever going to really get to shine the way he ever did again. So I don't think he's a get what you see. I think he has flashes of good, but he has something to prove him fast, and if he's not, then he's going to be in that land of forever backups. It's going to get revolved and revolved. So he has maybe one more year to do that until he gets in that lower tier. But again, I'd rather have Jameis Winston than Sam Darnold, because I don't know what Sam Darnold does. He's shown a flash here and there, kind of. And then, Jameis Winston has been just consistently good. He's been fine. He hasn't been amazing. He's had some bad games, trust me. But I'd rather kind of have that you get what you see tier. And it hasn't had time to prove themselves. It's more like an investment, where I think they're consistently less good than the you get what you see, but they are an investment that could get good. They could develop into that, where Jameis Winston is pretty much where he is. Really, again, these bottom three, second to last and third to last, and hasn't had time and has something to prove fast, can move up quickly, because in that tier of okay, boom, where the first four tiers are really the real tiers, the real starters, if that makes sense. And I'm putting them in order from left to right, so I'd rather have Andy Dalton than Matt Ryan. So if that makes sense. Taysom Hill, love Taysom Hill. I haven't seen enough of him to play, but he's in the line for backups. You don't hear his name very often, so say what you will. And next up is Joey Burrow. Sorry, I had a little cut there. So Joe Burrow, this is recorded on that Sunday night after one of the worst games of his career that we're ever going to see. I'm still going to put Joe Burrow in the best of the best. The best of the best is reserved for the people who are going to be the people who've really done well for themselves in the NFL. They have cemented some sort of legacy, some more than others. Joe Burrow hasn't won an MVP. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. So he's made it to a Super Bowl. He's made it to the AFC Championship. He's won the AFC Championship. He has the Chiefs number. But, he's going to be more cemented than a lot of other quarterbacks, like the Phillip Rivers of the world, or even like the Tony Romos of the world, in a way. But He still has that little bit he can do. He's still a great quarterback. I still believe in him. I don't know what's happened. Maybe the recent injuries are starting to kind of catch up with him in terms of his play style. Maybe the Browns were just too good for him, had their number that week. Who knows? But Joe Burrow's still one of the best, and we're still going to put confidence in. Next up, Derek Carr. Reliably good. Man, I don't know whether to put him above Jared Goff or below. I'm going to put him below Jared Goff of my personal preference, but I can see those two being easily switched. Just reliably good quarterback, man. Good guy. Deserves better. Has a system. He's done well for his career. I'm not going to judge him too much on the Saints right now because we saw flashes. We haven't seen a whole ton to really judge him. But he's reliably good. Drew Lock, land of forever backups. I would rather have him than all these other quarterbacks. I believe he was underrated in Denver. I think he actually did decent. He didn't trust me, he didn't do anything amazing, but he was a little overhated. I didn't hate him too much, just was underwhelming quite a bit, especially with the Teddy Bridgewater right there too. So yeah, he's in the land of forever backup. Sorry, man, you've had something to prove, but you lost it. Dak Prescott, the great inspiring. He's at the bottom of the great inspiring, but he's an underrated quarterback. He's able to really command a team and get those touchdown passes and lead a team to success. We haven't seen him in a Super Bowl yet, but I'll be honest, the Cowboys are a team that can always pull the trigger and make a Super Bowl run. It's just going to be finding the year they can finally do so. And Dak Prescott is a guy who can do that. And once he does that, maybe people will look at him differently. Cowboys are an easily hated team. I've lessened up on the Cowboys quite a bit throughout my years of watching, especially the recent years of kind of enjoying NFL. Dak Prescott is a little bit overhated. Baker Mayfield has something to prove and fast. This is last year, 100%. There's no way. I thought last year was his last year, but this year has to be his last year. If he doesn't do something with the Bucks, maybe we'll see. I want to put him up in the reliably good. Because I think he's in this like reliably good, you get what you see tier. Maybe he can cement himself more up here, but right now I think he has something to prove that he can be in one of these tiers instead of just in the land of backup QBs. So he has something to prove, and fast. Zach Wilson, tragic story. Needs to be a little bit smarter with himself. Shows flashes. He has great potential. He hasn't had time to prove himself. I'm gonna put him there for now. Man, bless him. I hope he maybe learned something with Aaron Rodgers, get a couple years, but I have a feeling that a couple years behind Aaron Rodgers will kind of just get him to the land of forever backups, and he won't be really remembered, and they'll draft another QB or something. Who knows? Carson Wentz, I'm going to put him slightly above Sam Darnold, and he has something to prove him fast. Again, he's kind of in the Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz phase of like sometimes you see something from them, sometimes you just see nothing from them. I don't know how much we're really going to see from him ever again, but we'll see. Trevor Lawrence, last year definitely would have put him and hasn't had time to prove himself, but at the upper tier, I am going to put him at the bottom of the great and inspiring. Obviously I'm putting Dak above him because he's had more experience and he's more reliable and he's able. If I'm putting both of them on the field right now with the same team, I have more confidence in Dak that game. But Trevor Lawrence long term will be better. I'm going to kind of put the inspiring part. So the great and inspiring, well, Dak Prescott's kind of both. Trevor Lawrence is more the good and inspiring, but I didn't really want to add so many tiers. So Trevor Lawrence, I believe he's going to do great, and he could cement himself at the top of the tier, but I don't know if he can really do anything to make himself the best of the best this season. But we'll see. Davis Mills, you get what you see. Again, a little overhated, but rightfully kind of so. I don't know. Actually, should I put him? I'm going to just put him right there for now. I don't know. I don't have much of an opinion on Davis Mills, to be honest with you. He's bad, but he's not, like, awful. I don't want to put him in that hasn't had time to prove himself or has something to prove fast. He just feels like he's just people know what they're getting. I don't think he's in that perpetual backup stage just yet, so we'll see. But we're keeping him there. Jalen Hurts, we're putting him on top of the great and inspiring. Obviously, one breakout year does not get you the best of the best. He's great and inspiring. He's a great QB. And he shows flashes here and there. I have some high potential for him this season, especially in a weaker NFC conference. But we'll see where he goes. Russell Wilson. Man, this is a tough one. For one, I'm biased because he's our current QB of the Denver Broncos. I'm a Denver Broncos fan. Obviously, at one point, he was one of the best of the best. At one point, he was great and inspiring. At one point, he was reliably good. I don't even know if you can put him in, you get what you see. That's why he's going to have to prove something fast. And I'm putting him at the top of there because I think I'd rather have him than Baker. And that's really important to me because he may be older, but we've seen that Russell Wilson can go. And we even seen it today, I'd say. He showed some flashes. He did reliably good that game. And he has the potential to be that Russell Wilson we once saw. Maybe not quite to the caliber, but he has that potential. But right now, I think if I'm looking at the games right now, I think I'd rather have some of the guys above him for the most part, maybe with the exception of Zach Wilson. Just because I'm just not too sure, because Russell Wilson really blew last season quite a bit. So we'll see. But I'm putting Russell Wilson at the top of has something to prove fast. And this is not like a strict list of like 1 to 32 or whatever. This is just kind of an overall estimate of the list. It is a nice little curve of what I think, but yeah. Matthew Stafford. It's really hard to put a Super Bowl QB who kind of is. He's not mid. He's good. I don't know if he's great though. I've never been the biggest Matthew Stafford fan in terms of I just think the hate for Jared Goff really kind of soured me on Matthew Stafford a little bit. Loved him with the Lions, and then the Rams, all of a sudden he's like praised as this really good quarterback, and rightfully so because he's good. And I want to put him the best of the best, but it's going to be a very similar kind of Aaron Rodgers conversation of is he on the back end of his career? He did what he did. Does he really have anything good? I think he is reliably good. I don't think he's inspiring anymore. I don't think he's great. I think he's the top of the reliably good. That's simple and to the point. He proved what he can do. Carry on. Kirk Cousins, reliably good, and I'll put him even above Matthew Stafford. He's Kirk Cousins. Everybody's a form of Kirk Cousins in one way or another. Simple to the point. Tom Brady, he's retired, but is he? Shrug. I'm going to put him back here. I'm not probably not going to rank him because I think he's retired. But, you know, take that as you will. Tua, the great and inspiring. He's very much inspiring, and he is very good. Today's game, holy moly. Dolphins at Chargers, holy crap. Could be caliber of game of the day. I caught a couple of those couple of drives. Saw the stats. Holy crap, what they do. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Love Tua. I'm glad he looks a lot better. He seems a lot healthier now, and I hope he has a great season. He's going to be in the great inspiring because he has something to prove, and he could have a Jalen Hurts type year. Lamar Jackson, great and inspiring. I'm going to put him. I'm not going to put him into the has something to prove and fast because I think he's still in that like the back end of like having to prove something because he has to do something soon, but not like fast. So I'm still going to put him up here, but I am going to put him at the bottom of the great and inspiring because we just haven't seen anything from him very recently. We just haven't seen anything great from him. Even today's game, he's fine. Fine is maybe a little bit strong of a word, but he's not reliably good. He's inspiring, and he's what once was great. He solidified an MVP. Let's see what he can do going forward. And I'm going to put him below Trevor Lawrence and Tua because I think he doesn't look as good. And I don't think he's looked as good as those guys even last year. So take that as you will. Daniel Jones, reliably good. I'll put him above Derek Carr. Or no, I'll just put no. I'll keep him below. Man, I hate putting him above my Jared Goff, but Daniel Jones is pretty good. Again, he's in the Goff Carr tier. I'm going to put Daniel Jones, trying to put my bias aside, above Jared Goff, below Matthew Stafford. Reliably good. He can lead a team. He got the bag for a reason. Simple and to the point. Jimmy G, you see what you get. You get what you see, sorry. I will put him at the top of it. I think he gets, again, overhated. He's reliably good. He's able to do what he is. He's not going to probably get you a Super Bowl, but he's going to lead your team and do just fine. Mike White, is it? Land of forever quarterback, backup quarterbacks. Probably above everybody, but yeah, probably between Dalton and Ryan. Let's go with that. Cooper Rush, same thing. Should have flashed. I'll put him above Taysom for that, but otherwise, actually, I'll put him above Matt Ryan too, and below. We'll put him above Mike White. There you go, Cooper Rush. You really moved up there. Simple to the point. Gardner Minshew, you'll get your flash in the pan every now and then. I'll probably put you above everybody but Drew Lock, just because I think he's younger and could do better. So simple to the point. That was really easy for you guys. Jordan Love, Hasn't had time to prove himself, and I'm going to put him at the top of it. I think of these three people right now, I see Jordan Love as the most potential to actually be something in the NFL. We'll see what he can do. Really good start to the season. He really showed that he can really command a field. I don't know if it's just a really good Packers team, really good coaching staff that's helping him, but either way, it's showing through him. So this season could be another great season for the Green Bay Packers through Jordan Love. So, and they did play the Chicago Bears, so take that as you will, but he still showed out. Aaron Rodgers, of course, he's one of the best right now. He'd probably even be above the best of the best currently, but I'm putting him in the great and inspiring, and I'm going to put him below. Man, this is a tough one. He's top 10 quarterback. He's not just reliably good. He's the great and inspiring. Everybody forgets he's an MVP. He's a 2-time MVP back to back 2 years ago. So he's still up there. I'm going to put him at the bottom of the great and inspiring because he's inspiring to be that best of the best. Getting another Super Bowl would solidify him as one of the best, I think. Especially getting another MVP would put him in that best of the best category nowadays, right now. Obviously, Tom Brady's one of the best, but he isn't as good as he used to be, if that makes sense, and especially with the system. For Aaron Rodgers, we're going to keep him there in the great and inspiring because, again, I think there's a lot he's inspiring to, but he's also great. But would I put Dak Prescott over him? Man, that is tough. Would I put Aaron Rodgers a top 5 QB? You know what? I would. I'd put Aaron Rodgers above Dak Prescott. I'm curious what he'll do. It's a big jump, I know. Well, I wouldn't really consider him there. I was trying to figure out what spot he was going. But I'd put him over Lamar just because Lamar hasn't proven himself too much. Tua and Trevor Lawrence have shown that bit of greatness. They just have a little bit more to go. Aaron Rodgers, we know he has that greatness in a good system. I'm putting him below Jalen Hurts because I think Jalen Hurts has a higher ceiling from anybody below him. But Dak Prescott, I feel like, is just in that great, consistently great category type deal. Well, I think Aaron Rodgers is a steer above that. Patrick Mahomes, he is the best of the best. 100%. He solidified himself going forward. He's won 2 Super Bowls. Does he have 2 MVPs? Is he a 2-time MVP or I can't remember exactly. I believe he is. But at least 1-time MVP or Patrick Mahomes. Simple to more. Tyler Huntley, is that it? Tyler Huntley is fine. He's land of backup quarterback. He's no longer going to get the big throw there. By the way, I'm going to put Taysom Hill above Matt Ryan. I don't know why I didn't put him above that before. Give him above Taysom Hill, below Mike White. Sure. Sounds good. You know what? No, we'll give him above Mike White. Well, actually, you know what? No, actually, no. I remember him doing just fine. I'll put him below Andy Dalton. Sure. Jacoby Brissett. Haven't heard this name in a while. I really don't want to put him in the land of forever backups because I feel like he still has a shot to maybe be somewhere else, but he's pretty much in the land of forever backups. He's going to be below Mike White, above Taysom Hill. Sure, that sounds right to me. CJ Stroud hasn't had time to prove himself. The reason I'm going to put him above Jordan Love, I'm probably going to put all 3 of them above Jordan Love because Jordan Love's a little bit older, so technically he's had more time, and the little time he did have before, he didn't show anything, while C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson. Let's go ahead and find them real quick, actually. And Will Levis, just some. Actually, you know what's actually save Will Levis for a separate one. Looking over my little camera here, which you can't see on the video. Wait. Do I have 2 Russell Wilsons? I have 2 Russell Wilsons. I'm going to use the Broncos one. Why does it give me... Okay, cool. We're Young and Richardson. I'm going to put them in this order. Put them in that order. Bryce Young, because he's highly touted. He looks good. The only thing that people doubt on him is his stature, which is kind of fair, but not really. Anthony Richardson, great arm, can really throw a rocket, is a great scrambler, has a high ceiling but really low basement. C.J. Stroud, I feel like of all of them, is the most likely to be a bust. And actually, you know what? All things considering, I'm going to put Jordan Love above C.J. Stroud because I think Jordan Love, even at his age, has shown more than C.J. Stroud ever has. Not ever has, but I think that C.J. Stroud has. They're kind of in between, but I think Bryce Young and Richardson are kind of the ones competing for that. Who's the standout quarterback from this class? Well, I think Jordan Love is doing well enough to even say he's below kind of that extra little small tier C.J. Stroud. So we'll go with that. Kenny Pickett hasn't had time to prove himself. We'll put him above Justin Fields because he only had 1 year. I mean, let's be honest. But there wasn't a whole lot expected from him, and I don't know if there really is still. I give these guys more potential because I think they've looked better. But Kenny Pickett, underrated. Keep on lookout for him. Desmond Ridder, man, this is a tough one. Do I put him in? Hasn't had time to prove himself. Yeah, I'll put him. I don't know much about Desmond Ridder. I kind of mistake him for is it Taylor Heineke? I forget about with him. I don't know. Whatever. Desmond Ridder, I don't have too much passion about. He's fine, but he really hasn't had time to show anything. So we'll see what he does this season. Will Levis, obviously he hasn't had time to prove himself, but I think I'm gonna put him below Desmond Ridder. No, I'm putting him above Desmond Ridder. He has potential to do something, but we'll see. I just haven't seen anything from him. Not very familiar with college right now, so we'll see. That's all I got for you there. Sam Howell, that's who I can mistake Desmond Ridder for all the time. Sure. Do I put him in doesn't have time to prove himself? Yeah, of course I do. I probably put him above Will Levis and Desmond Ridder. I have a little bit more hope for Sam Howell than Desmond Ridder. He moves me more than Desmond Ridder, so sure. Stetson Bennett hasn't had time to prove himself. Above everybody, or above Wilson, probably below everybody else. Sure, haven't seen enough of him. Hendon Hooker, same thing, but he's older, probably below Stetson Bennett. I'm a Tennessee fan, so probably above him, but I'm going to put him below him just because to be not biased. I saw Hendon Hooker's the quarterback I probably saw the most just because I am a UTM student, so I saw UT games. So he looked good there. Lions drafted him. Maybe he'll do fine eventually there or somewhere else. Who knows? Brock Purdy. Man, I'm going to put him in the hasn't had time to prove himself because he only had like the back half of the season. But man, do I want to put him up here. I'm going to put him there. So the reason I kind of have Bryce Young, Richardson kind of in that upper tier is because I think they have a really high ceiling, and I want to show that. And Jordan Love the same case, but he's had more time. That's why he's below him. C.J. Stroud has had less time, but I don't see as much potential in him. And Kenny Pickett, Justin Fields, Sam Howell, all have had a little bit of time, shown good flashes, but don't really have it there. Brock Purdy's kind of had little time, done really well, but it's not enough to really say, okay, he's a great quarterback. I mean, even this last game, it just seemed like the system worked around him. It seemed like he was nervous, but he seemed like he handled himself fine. So he could move up very soon, and honestly, he could move up to reliably good. We just have to see more. Josh Allen, I'm going to put him above Joe Burrow in the best of the best. I know people in this whole Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow debate kind of say who's the best. Josh Allen is better than Joe Burrow. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. As a quarterback, I think Joe Burrow is a better system QB for the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, I think Josh Allen is I feel like the Buffalo Bills feel like a system, but they're really a bunch of just really good players together making a team work. While I think the Cincinnati Bengals feel like more of a cohesive team. I don't know if that makes sense at all. It's just the best way I can kind of describe them while watching them. But I love Josh Allen. I believe he's better than Joe Burrow. But it's a close race. I'm not going to blame anybody for saying Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen because it's a close race. Honestly, it's almost minimal, the difference between them. But I believe in more Josh Allen than Joe Burrow, especially for future careers. I hope that he leads the Buffalo Bills to a future Super Bowl. That's out to my aunt and uncle who are big Buffalo Bills fans. So, sending out to them. By the way, fun fact for everybody kind of watching, I'm actually I have an AFC team, which is the Broncos, but I also kind of have a subset team in the NFC that I kind of like. It's the Saints. I don't talk about it much just because I've just been underwhelmed from them for a while, so I don't even know if I really want to consider my favorite team, but there's not much that moves me from the NFC nowadays. But if I'm kind of watching and kind of cheering on for somebody, it's usually the Saints, which actually is funny because I live in Tennessee. The Saints face off against the Tennessee Titans. I bet against the Saints just because, again, they haven't moved me in a while, while the Tennessee Titans I've felt more hyped about. So take that as you will. Trey Lance. Oh, man. I'm going to put him above Wentz but below Baker and has something to prove fast. It's just he is an unfortunate story. Maybe in Dallas he'll get the opportunity to show something. I don't know, man, though. Trey Lance is probably going to get into that land of forever backups pretty soon, though, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it's necessarily this year that he'll have to prove anything, but next year he's going to get in irrelevancy quick if he doesn't make something of it. Is it Kyle Trask? Don't know, but he's in the land of forever quarterbacks. I'll put him above Mike White, but below Cooper Rush. That seems right. Geno Smith, reliably good. Honestly, I kind of want to put him, and you get what you see. But I think he's better than that. I think he's below Derek Carr, Jared Goff, and all them, but he's still just reliably good. He's proven it last year, all throughout the season. Proved it in playoffs. Yeah, I kind of want to put him in You Get What You See, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and just say he's reliably good. Granted, that was only 1 year. I'm going to put him reliably good. I'm staying with that. Tom Brady, again, moving you back down there. Mac Jones. I'm not putting him in hasn't had time to prove himself. I think he's had the time now. I'm trying to remember his class. I actually don't remember everybody in his class. I think that was the Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, all that, right? Maybe so. I guess it's only fair I put him there, but kind of. Yeah. Okay. No, that's actually valid. I'll give him 1 more year. That's the type of film I'm gotten. Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, he hasn't had time for himself. I guess time is irrelevant for me right now. Or not irrelevant, but hard to comprehend for me. There, in that case at least. Ryan Tannehill, see what you get. I'll be honest, if it wasn't for recency bias of this latest game, him doing horrible, probably put him above Davis Mills. Probably keep him below Jimmy G, but I'm going to put him below Jameis Winston. It's really showing me how bad he really is. So, take that as you will. Taylor Heineke. I don't even know how old this guy is, to be honest with you. I think he's really young. But he does not move me at all. At all. So, below Desmond Ridder. Sure. We'll go with that. Kyler Murray. Man. He has something proven fast, dude. Put below Baker. No, above Baker. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think he has something proven fast. I think if we've seen him play recently, maybe you get what you see or you're reliably good, but he has something to prove fast when he gets back. Justin Herbert. I am hesitantly, I'm stretching my eye too. Great. This is really professional for on camera. Hesitantly. Note this. Hesitantly. As a Broncos fan, I'm putting him in the best of the best. I am not a Justin Herbert fan. I don't like him. Like, he's fine. Chargers are my second favorite team in that division. I hate the Raiders. Chiefs are next up, and then Chargers. And they're just a team like I'm fine with seeing do fine, just because I feel like they haven't had much success for their franchise, and I like their team. I like Justin Herbert enough as a person. It seems like he seems like a nice guy, and I hate on him a lot for it. I hate on him a lot because I feel like I have to hate on him a lot. I don't believe in him. Just from what I've seen, I think people will get a little too overhyped about his ability to play, which is, and I'm saying overhyped as in people put him up in the Mahomes tier, and I feel like he needs to go to a couple tiers down or whatever, or a couple, tracks down. People believe in him too much, I feel like. I guess it's kind of like most people are with Justin Herbert rather than Trevor Lawrence, if that makes sense. I am high on Trevor Lawrence, and people might hate me for that reason. And I'm kind of that way to other people with Justin Herbert. I don't see what a lot of people see in Justin Herbert. However, I recognize now, seeing his stats, seeing how he plays, watching through some highlights of him, he is one of the best of the best. Maybe it's the great and inspiring. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put him at the top of the great and inspiring. The reason being is not just because I'm being a biased fan. He hasn't had that one really good run yet that's really solidified him, like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen have had, and Patrick Mahomes, of course. And that's why I'm going to put him at the top of the great and inspiring. I feel like those three are in their own tier, now that I really think about it. While Justin Herbert's kind of leading a tier of his own, honestly. Maybe with Jalen Hurts, but that's about it in that regard. And that's my QB hot takes. I don't know if it's hot takes necessarily, but Justin Herbert's probably the hottest take there. Again, I appreciate Justin Herbert. I respect him a lot, and I hope he does well in the NFL. But I don't see it myself from a personal I think this person's gonna do good this season. But, yeah, that's my takes for QBs. It's my fun little video of the week. I don't know exactly, again, what I'm going to do, whether it's going to be an extra video. I'm not a big fantasy guy. I'm going to try to do something with the guys more fantasy related, because a couple of them really love their fantasy football. I played in 3 leagues. That's about it for it. I do like fantasy football. It's fun enough, and it helps me keep track of the game along with my parlays. But I'm not as in-depth with it as a lot of other people are. So I kind of play for fun. I think I do well enough. But 2 of the guys really love Trathan and Ryan, Trathan and Ben. Ryan likes it too, but Trathan and Ben really believe in their fantasy football knowledge. So maybe doing a series with them on fantasy football would be nice. But otherwise, I really don't know many of other ideas I can really express on a consistent basis. I'd love to keep on doing tier lists, but that's a finite amount. So they'll get me by for a few weeks until I get really bored or really scrambling for something and it's really hard to get the other 3 together for a consistent video. So either I'm gonna have to do a video with only one of them at a time or something like that, or something, because we have very busy schedules. Of course, the NFL season's already restricts the schedule quite a bit, so recording on Monday nights about a recap, then Tuesday or Wednesday with the guys about predictions and power rankings for the next week. It's really finite with the schedule. We're gonna make it work one way or the other, but and it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with it. We want to do it. It's just finding the time, all of us, to get together. It's not going to be realistic. So maybe doing a series with another one of the guys, while still having my one-on-one videos with you guys, because I love this channel. Again, I want to express myself more, and it kind of helps me learn more as I go delve into the NFL 2023 season. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and comment down below what you agree with and don't agree with in this video. Leave me a like, subscribe if you want, and guys, I will see you later. Peace.